Today we'll be dividing rational numbers. We're going to do both decimals and fractions. But let's start with fractions first because they're easier. Change any mixed numbers to improper fractions. Multiply by the reciprocal. Remember, that's when the second number is turned over, or some people like to call it flipped. Then you can simplify, and don't forget your sign, because if you forget your sign, the answer is incorrect. Alright, so let's start with this. So we're going to do -3/4, and we're multiplying by the reciprocal. So we are going to change the division to a multiplication, and the reciprocal of 1/2 is 2/1. So then we simply multiply, and we get -6/4, or -6/4, which equals, if we simplify that, -3/2, or -1 1/2. Now we have a mixed number up here, and as we said, we're going to change that to an improper fraction. By now you're probably used to that. 3 times 2 is 6, plus the 1 on top is 7. Then we're going to multiply it, and let's change this to -8/7. So we're multiplying by the reciprocal. Notice the first number, we leave it alone. Second number, we turn it over. That's the reciprocal. Okay, we know our answer is going to be positive because we have a negative times a negative. We can also do a little simplifying before we multiply because there's a 7 in both the numerator and the denominator. And if you were really good, you could simplify the other way. 2 goes into 2 one time, 2 goes into 8 4 times. So our answer is 4/1, which we know is 4. Okay, for decimals, hopefully by now you already know how to divide by decimals. I'll teach you a couple little tricks along the way, but don't forget your sign at the end. So on this answer, we know our answer is going to be negative. So we take 0.8, it's going to be on the outside, it's going to be what we divide by, and 6.4 will be on the inside. So we're going to move our decimals over 1, move our decimal over 1, and then we're just going to simply go 8 goes into 64, 8 times, 64 left over, and we're done. So our answer should be -8 because it's a positive divided by a negative. Okay, on our next one, we're going to have -0.32 divided by -0.4. So we'll put our 0.4. We know this answer is going to be positive because it's a negative divided by a negative. And then we'll put the 0.32 on the inside. Okay, we move our decimal over 1. Move our decimal over 1. We can bring that straight up. 4 doesn't go into 3, but 4 will go into 32 8 times. And we're finished. If you need more help on dividing decimals, you may want to view some of our other videos.